Well, there you go. Welcome back to Hilux Radio. Kind of trapped in here. I'm doing a little reseal project on my driveway. So Hilux is trapped inside. I decided today would be a great day to build myself a welding table. Brought some stuff home from a job I did a while ago. I've taken off some of the brackets and stuff and got it flat where I can get it on the ground. Do a little wash up, clean up, get it somewhat proper where I can weld. And I'm not suggesting I'm a welder. No, I didn't say that. I said I'm going to do some welds. Kind of like when I play guitar, right? I'm not a guitar player, but I can make noises on guitars. I get this thing all squared away. I'll be right back. Let me show you. Obviously, I'm not the other guys, right? First off, you won't see my face except on a mistake. Second thing is there will be no cameraman but me. I'm on my own out here. I am a one-man band. Let me show you what's going on here, guys. All right, there you go. What we got right there, 3 foot by 82 quarter wall, or quarter inch, sorry about that, tread plate. Now, I know, I love the idea of having the walls around the welding table. It would be a great idea. Unfortunately, I don't like the idea of being anywhere near welding on tread plate. The other side is smooth. That's going to be the top. I'm going to put the legs on the bottom, flip it over, and see what we got going on. Let me show you what I'm working with. That I didn't pay for. Right now, if I were to buy that, that's about 650 bucks. I've got a couple of legs right here that are going to be the back legs. And I know everybody's going to tell me I've done this wrong. I get it. I don't know how to weld or fabricate. Guys, I'm learning as I go. I'm brand new at this. I'm like a millennial. I'm learning how to weld. Those are going to be the 2 legs in the front. We'll go over in the scrap yard and grab a couple pieces and work on that. Let me clean this up a little bit. I get it. I have one kind of rod right now. I don't have a whole shitload of rod. I got a shitload of rod, but it's all 7018. I'm going to do a little cleanup right here. I'll be right back. All right, guys. It's not perfect. All I have here is purple power. Put a little of that on. Got my pressure washer out. Did a little spray down. To show you what my theory is on this. Again, I don't have anything in this. The energy to bring it home is what I have in it. And that was back when diesel was $2.17 a gallon. So basically what I got in this is just the energy to put it in my trailer and bring it home. Work with this. Work with me, guys. Work with me. Let me drag the old welder up here. Let me change things up a little bit. I'll be right back. I'm show you how this is going to go. Obviously, it's not going to be right. You guys are proper. I know. Everything I do is wrong. Hold on. And just to be fair, guys, I did some mods the other day, right? I haven't told you guys I can actually occasionally screw up and weld. But in order to make the Kubota where it would actually do all this crap, I had a couple of these little pick eyes I picked. All right, guys, let me show you what we got right here. Just so you know, sorry about the mess on the back there. I know, painting the driveway. Let me show you what we got. Sorry, I have to do this because I'm alone. There's what you got. Okay, 30-inch legs. That is, this is ungodly, guys. That is 1 inch. 1 inch. 6 by 3 quarter wall tubing. Those 2 legs right there would probably hold up the fucking Empire State Building. But that's what I had. It's a little bit short, but remember, so am I. Okay? I can fix this with blocks. I've got lots of blocks. We're going to square all this up. I can't actually take a video. I'm going to tack them up real quick. I'm going to square them up real quick. Make sure that these are actually square and true and plumb to the table. And then we'll work on the other end real quick. And again, I have a stiffener that I can put just to make sure I can drive the entire Hilux up on the thing. I can stick in the center of this if I have to. And I know, you guys are going to tell me I don't know how to build a welding table. I get it. I don't know shit. Shirt says it. I'm wearing it. I don't know shit. Let me tack this up real quick and square it up. Well, I'll show you what I'm show you what I'm welding with too. Hold on. All right, guys. That's what we have today. It's a Trailblazer 301G. It's a stick welder. Because we're outside, right? I mean, I know. You guys all have a wire feeder, so do I. We're square on that. But this is my gas welder. This is my generator welder. We've got, obviously, the welder. And then, if you need to air arc and or do anything, you got your compressor, got your torches, your torch head. I know. Oh, Sean, why don't you buy new hoses? Well, I have new hoses. I just don't want to use them. Anyway, we're gonna tack this up real quick, and then decide if we need to square these two faces up. I've got a piece of iron in here. If I have to square those up, just to make sure they stay square, plumb, and all that crap. We'll work on the other end in a minute. That one's going to be a little more difficult because I only have 2 of these legs. If I had 3, this is a slam dunk. Of course. Whoa. Sean, you get. Okay, well the question is, what do you burn, Sean? I'm old school. I burn 7018 cap rod. And I know. They're going to tell me I'm no good son of a bitch. I get it. 7024 on top. Why? Because it's fast. That's it. It's fast. And I don't have time to play your fucking 35 amp game. You know what? I burn it at 180. If I'm going to roll wire, I'm going to roll wire. You guys roll coal, I roll wire. That's what's going to happen. We're going to roll big rod. I might put a cap rod on it. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it looks, right? But again, what we're worried about right now is square, plumb, true, flat. These need to be square. There's a reason for this. It's called geometry, guys. Be right back. All right, guys, real quick, how I actually lay things out. And although my way is probably not proper, and I get it, I'm not a fabricator, I just play one on TV. The original measurement when I set the legs down in there was 35 1/4. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, out to out, 35 1/4. The way I actually set this up, well, let me tell you right now. That one right there is welded, and it's welded hard. This one's welded. This one, see real easy, is tacked. That one's tacked. So the way I'm pulling this off, just so you know how this is going, not that I'm a fabricator, I don't know shit about anything. What we're looking for is 35 1/4. We got it. And we're looking for 35 1/4. And we got it. But anybody that knows anything about welding, 35 1/4 at one end and 35 1/4 at the other end doesn't mean shit. What you need to know is your X. And I'm horrible with the camera because I'm trying to do 2 things at one time. There's your X right there. And it's not perfect, but 45 1/4 is your X. That's from the down at the corner. I'm just sticking the tape measure down there. It's antiquated. It's dinosaur shit, guys. But you got 45 1/4 on one side. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me do this. Sorry. And again, I don't have help, right? Now that one's actually welded. So there's a pretty good sized weld in there that actually holds that one solid. But if I come over here, I see that this is 45. And looks to me like, I'm going to call that 5/16. So what I get to do right here, I'm going to actually gas up the welder. I'm going to put her hard. I'm going to grab this one right here with my finger, and I'm going to pull it in about maybe 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to burn, and I'm going to burn hard right there. Because this, again, this is tacked. You can see that right there. That's how much is in there. There's nothing there. That's nothing. This one, on the other hand, just so you can see, that one I burned in. That one's moving the plate. This one is actually our squaring device. If any of this makes sense, I'm not trying to teach you how to fabricate. I'm just telling you what I do. I am, trust me, I am not a fabricator, guys. I'm just a guy that has a welder and a bunch of steel I found. I'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. Happy Thursday. We got that burned in last night, as you can see. Got them nailed, whacked, tacked, whatever. They're done. But anyway, in that process, even though we actually did weld the outside first, once you take on, you're welding 1" to 1/4, you got to get in it. You got to run hard. I'm running about 190 amps, big wire. When I got all that done, I measured, and it had pulled in. The 2 top legs had pulled in, 5/8 of an inch. So, happen to have a piece of 1 inch. What is that? Schedule 40. I just call that leaky iron pipe. I don't know. There's a name for it. It's just pipe, right? Sprinkler pipe or something. So actually, I measured that real carefully. Cut that pipe 5/8 of an inch longer than it was. Popped it in there. Checked the X. Checked the square. Make sure it's all proper, right? And what we're looking for, remember, we did our measurements. Okay? If we do this right. And again, it's a welding table, not a race car chassis. So end to end, 35 and just a little, looks like a 1/16 over. So you check your outside. There you go. Right there. I mean, this is all, there you go. So this one doesn't need to be beat up real bad. I'm not gonna go crazy here. Don't have to have 100% X-ray welding here. Just all this is to make this X keep that table together. This can't go in. It's 1/4 inch. It's not gonna go anywhere. I'm not parking cars on it. But let me burn that in real quick. I'll be back. We're gonna work on, still working on the other end because I'm gonna do something that's gonna cause you guys heartburn, which is what happens when I'm here, right? I'll be back. All right, guys, got that burned in. Got a little excited there. Run after it with 5/32, blew right through it, but that's okay. It'll be all right. It's not, this part's not structural. This is no big deal. What's the foam for? Those are knee pads. Sean Wells in his shorts, right? I could take the heat, the sparks, but I'll tell you what, I can't take my knees on the asphalt anymore. I'm too old. The other end's got me a little confused because of that opening, and the way I'm going to do this is going to cause heartburn for some people. But I got a piece of 3/4 by 4 right there. I'm gonna seal that opening up so that becomes a box. The problem with the 1/4 inch right there, I know there's more structure in there than I need, and I guess this thing's probably gonna weigh 700 pounds when I'm done. I'm really not concerned about the weight, but I don't like that opening right there. So I'm gonna blaze that through. I'm gonna put that piece of 3/4 by 4 in that opening so that I actually have structure there, and then I got to work on the other. I know this is where it's all gonna go crappy, and everybody's gonna have a crybaby fit. That's okay. It's mine. Okay, it's mine. All right, guys. Here's what we found. I found another piece I had laying around. It's 3/4. I think it's 3/4 4. Gee, guy has to get a tape measure out, right? Sorry. Yeah. Oh wow, 3/4, 3.5. Yep. And I was gonna get the gas axe out, and I remembered. These are not a sponsor. Obviously, nobody would sponsor me because I'm a little too crazy. Anarchy doesn't get sponsors. You need to be a Republican or a Democrat, and you need to vote. But anyway, that little Milwaukee saw just burned through that in about 40 seconds. I run a cheap little Amazon blade, battery-powered saw that will cut 3/4 by 3.5. We're going to fit that into that hole right there, solve that hole problem. And remember, all this is the bottom. You're not going to see anything. I'm just going to burn that in real easy. Nothing, not going to get crazy. It can't pull. When you're putting the rod in, it can't pull, right? Theoretically. But I've done worse. All right. Got that all burned in. Proper. My welding teacher's having a shit fit right now. Sean, you ran downhill. Well, yeah. Sorry. Yes, tell me that Tell me if you think you're going to get it out of there. That's the main thing. First off, what are you going to use? A gas axe or an air arc. You're not getting it out. So now comes the part where I have to go out in the scrap bin and decide what I'm going to do for my upright here, because I have even numbers of everything. And so when I destroy something to get what I want here, I'm going to have an odd number. And I got OCD on that. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, found a solution here. This is a post. I don't want to say anything out of school, right? I think it's 3x6. 6. Yeah, 3x6 by, I think it's either 3/16 or quarter wall that I had laid out in the car park out here. I actually had to gas axe this thing. You can see what I did here. I gas axed it. I needed to use a forklift as a small crane, and I know OSHA Nazis unite. Tell me I'm a no good son of a bitch all day long. But I put a safety on here so that when you run the fork in here, we could use this as a little jib crane, right? Well, how many times am I going to use this in my life? And that is quarter wall. Yo, easy quarter wall right there. Try and buy that right now. 3x6 quarter wall. Call your steel supplier if you actually dare. Tell them you want a 9-foot stick of that. Anyway, I'm going to burn that. I've spent about an hour looking for my square. I don't know what it is about squares in me. I've got like 8 in the house, and obviously I had them for myself. I'm going to try this with the, well, one's a wood saw. The close one's a wood saw. The other one's a metal saw. Got like 4 batteries charging. It eats batteries. I will tell you that. They're not free to run, but $20 blades on Amazon. You buy these Chinese blades. You go down to your supply house here in town. They're 46 bucks a piece, and they don't last any longer. And I hate to say this because it makes me sick. They don't last any longer than the Chinese blades. Hey, your mileage may vary. I've got my own things. So anyway, I'm going to burn this off. And then comes the part where you guys tell me I don't know what I'm doing, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Obviously, it's all coming together real well. We've got everything kind of squared away. These can go away, obviously. I don't think those are actually holding anything. And yeah, there's my knee pad. Old people, right? Can't put their knees on the ground. Let me burn that off real quick, and I'll show you my theory. Be right back. Well, that didn't go near as bad as I thought it was going to. And although not perfect, again, you're cutting with a freaking skill saw. Just clean that up a little bit. It's ready to weld. It's not perfect, but I can square all that up. We'll get it level. You kind of see what's going on there. I missed just, I don't know, by about a 16th from having that perfectly square. And just so you know, that's quarter wall, 3x6, and just the leg. I've got a scale here. The leg is 57 pounds. I'm sitting here, that thing damn near got my toe, and I'm like, oh, Jesus God, I'm going to be at the doctor. Let me square this up and true everything up, and we'll put this last one on, and I think we can flip this over and do some fixture work. Be right back. All right, guys, got it all squared up. Check the triangle, all right, just so you know. The triangle goes from that corner to the far corner, and from this corner to that corner. It's within about an 1/8 of an inch, close enough for me. Couldn't get it exactly level. People think that piece of 3/4 is tough, badass shit. No, it's not. I can bend it around by hand. So, if you ever want to do the poor man shim technique, that's what poor people do. 4 little pennies right there to get it up to level. It kind of, you can see it, it's not perfect, but to get it to level, I actually kind of tilted the pennies out a little bit. I'll get it all tacked up. The thing about pennies, you can just burn right through them if you want to, or when you get it all tacked up, you just bend it out of the way. And I mean, God knows 4 pennies right now, right? So one of these days, 4 pennies is going to be a big deal. But let me run the welder for a minute. I'll be right back. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, we've got that actually solid, pretty solid welded in. I'm going to run a cover pass on that because I'm a little unhappy with that. Save the pennies, right? We got the pennies out. That's a lot of fill right there. And in the house, God, this is typical Sean, right? In the house, there's about a 40-pound box of 7018, and I have beat this place to death, and I can't find it. What I had to change to is 7024. You can see a little bit of a bead difference in that. Although, I mean, and I'm not a welder. I've never really done this. But 7018 runs a little bit, to me, it runs a little cleaner. 7024 is like a show quality finish. 7024 is more for body work and shit like that. 7018 being for framework. I'll run some beads up and down right here. I'm gonna clean, and it doesn't need it. There's guys, we can't hurt this thing. There, again, you want to take it apart, bring a gas axe or an air arc. We're not going to break anything. But because this is an outer finish, and we will see that, I'm going to run a bead down there and a bead down there. And like I said, I'm not exactly happy with that right there. We were filling about, let's see, 4 pennies, 3/16. Run a cover pass on that, get all that slag out of there, cover that up, clean it all up. Obviously the corners, my welding teacher is going to have a fit shit because I put those shims in there and I actually welded the shims in. The shims were holding it up and I actually caught the shims. Now I got to break those out because I want the shims for later. Those are going to be something for the top of the table. I'm going to make some brackets and fixtures and whatnot. Anyway, let me clean all this mess up. I think this thing's ready to flip over. There are some friends of mine that think I need to put a brace down the center because they think it's going to sag. But if you think about that, let's just do the math right here, just so I'm not lying. I think we got 1-inch solid steel down the side. Yeah, 1/4 by 4. So obviously if you divide 4 by 1/4, that's 1-inch solid steel all the way down the side. I don't really, honestly, at my age, I can't put enough shit on here to bend it. So I really don't think I need to run. I don't know. Once I get it flipped over, I'll put my backhoe bucket on it or something and just see how if we can bend it or whatnot. Anyway, it seems to be coming out pretty good. And I'll explain the 3-point system here in a minute. It's called geometry. All right, guys, we got that all tuned up. You can see the difference in disposition rates. I think I've got that right. That is the exact same welder as that guy, or that guy. 7024 lays a different, it's completely different, even though the same welder, exact same guy. It just disposes. It actually lays metal down different. I mean, although it'll x-ray, it's fine. It's a different kind of rod, and I will find my 7018. I got some stuff I want to do on top of the table once we get this flipped over. But anyway, worked out fine, except you can see that one there. I got a little piece of metal in my, little piece of fire jumped out on my pad and got in my knee. Did a little cauterizing on my knee. And I think this thing's ready to flip over. Couple quick pro tips, guys. If you're going to go buy tools, do yourself a favor. Buy once, cry once. This old hammer has been with me, I gotta say this thing's probably 25 years old. It's not a welding hammer, it's a rock hammer. I have beat this, I know, oh, you haven't used it that much, the tag's not even gone. No, I've had this thing 25 years. I have beat more, look at the tip on that. I have beat more slag off with that hammer than anything I own. Go to Harbor Freight, buy yourself a welding hammer, lasts an hour. Buy something like that. I think I paid 25 bucks for this. And I know I've had this thing forever. I have beat this thing to death. I'm not screaming and yelling to buy American, but buy quality. If you buy a German welding hammer, you'll die. You'll give it to your kids. They'll give it to their kids. You'll die with it. My clamps, right? Simple. American. Probably had these for 20 years. They still work. I mean, one simple thing you do, obviously, when you get done, look at there, get your frog lube out, proudly made in America. And I'm not swinging my flag. I'm just saying, all you got to do when you put your shit away is take care of it. Right? Act like you care. Well, I do care. So you take your little welding hammer, you put a little dip of that in there. Look at that. See how simple that is? And they'll be good to go for next time. I'm not, and again, there are certain things, and you can give me shit. There you go. That's a $29 Chinese welding helmet. Why would I use that when I have a American Como, made in America? I've had this thing for 25 years. Quality American products, right? Lasts forever. Why am I using this shitty ass welding helmet? Well, because this thing shelled out on me. That's a $250 American made Miller. It took a shit. I don't know what's wrong. It's solar. I had it out all day yesterday. I can look straight at the sun and it won't darken right now. I don't know what's going on. If it needs a battery or something, I don't know. But this is quality shit. That's American. At the end of the day, guys, you get to make the choice. It's your money. But do you want to buy five of something because it's a Chinese piece of shit? Or do you want to be like this guy, this old square of mine? Yeah. Yet another. Probably 25. This is from the other house. Johnson. Made in America. I'll die with this square. It's been beat to shit. I've bent it in circles. I've done shit work with it. Just saying. Well, and then you go to Lincoln. Oh, there you go. Well, I've had that brush for about 10 years too, and it somehow survives. Chinese Lincoln. Oh, Lincoln? I thought Lincoln was American. Well, not so much. Anyway, that's my little tip. We'll get this thing flipped over. I gotta, this sucks. I gotta run to Harbor Freight of all the shit. My two-wheeler's got a flat tire. And I'm just tired. I'm sick of, I don't need to air it up every time I want to use it. So I'm gonna go buy a couple of tires and wheels. Put some knobbies on there. I need some four-wheel drive activity on my two-wheeler, right? Anyway, and then I gotta figure out, well, this sucks. Got to figure out how to flip this thing over, A, without scratching my, well, like the asphalt matters. Well, really, I just need to figure out how to flip it over without killing myself. I'll work on that. I look around the garage and see what I got. We'll get this thing flipped up. Go get me, and if you live in Tucson, if you leave your coffee out, we have these fun little ants that decided, I don't know why, the coffee was such an excitement. But anyway, I go to take a drink of the coffee, and the ants have actually come up the tire, over the axle, down the spring, up the frame, across the thing, and screwed up my coffee. So I gotta go, oh, there they are, little ants. Oh boy. So anyway, we're gonna go fix that, get our tires worked out for the two-wheeler, get this thing flipped up. I'm gonna do some fixture work on top so I can build some stuff. I'll be right back. Thanks. Hey guys, welcome back. I beat myself to death. I was gonna drill a hole and put a shackle in there, and I'm just like, oh, I know I got something. I know. Well, I do. Got a bridge clamp. Oh, there you go. I know it's upside down. Yeah, that's about $700 American right now. Snagged that off a job one day, because you know, when I say snagged it off a job, a lot of people might take that as theft. That's not what it is. Been about 30 years in the field working rigging and crane work and building shit and doing shit out there, working at mines, working at construction sites. And I'll tell you what I feel and how I feel about this. You leave that shit on the ground and you go back to the shop, you know what? You're a fucking pile of shit, and I'm not going to let it sit there. That was sitting on the ground out at Cypress Sarita. Or, yeah, Cypress. Way back in the day. Now it's FMI. That was laying on the ground. They didn't give a fuck. Buy one right now at Granger. That's about probably somewhere around $800. They didn't give a shit. They just left it there. Well, I was sitting here thinking of how I'm going to drill a 1-inch hole through this thing, and I've got enough bits to do this. But that's American steel, and I haven't actually told you guys this. Every single thing in this table is American. The rod was American. All the steel is made in America. There's no Vietnam, there's no Thailand, there's no China, there's no Japan. Everything here is American. That clamp is American. Actually, the Kubota, that's made in America. That's made in Georgia. That's American. How do I know? Because they brought it from Georgia. And they, oh, sorry about the seat. We're working on that. Working on that right now. That's American. So really, what do we have here that's not American? That pipe wrench. That pipe wrench is not American. It's stuck right now until I get this thing flipped over. And again, guys, I'm not saying I'm better than you, and I get it. But there's only one way to fix our country. It's to realize it's our country. Your fucking politicians ain't gonna fix it. Let me flip this over, I'll be right back. Well, there you go, guys. That basically reached the limit of the Kubota. It was all it could do. And again, I can't do the, you gotta have two hands on a tractor, right? Not like, oh, you're, boy, if that wasn't a strike on YouTube. I was right there. And yeah, I throw the F-bomb around, right? I was on the air for 3.5 years here in Tucson. And I didn't say the F word one time. And now I get to use the F word like a comma. But anyway, it was all it could do to get it up, flip it over. You can kind of see that is serious. That's welding. That's welding. And that is welding. That we got in there. I'll clean all this up. I got some fixture work to do on it. I'm actually going to try something real quick to just see if I can move it around. Now that I've flipped it over, now I'm a little bit scared. Because I actually set this up so I could run the bucket up underneath it and just carry it when I need it. When I don't need it, I'm going to put it away, right? Out in the, whatever, car park. Let me get this thing undone. We'll button this thing up. I'm going to do a little steam or pressure wash on it. Put a little bit of stuff on there. Obviously, you can see we did not, well, that's the rope I actually carried the table in on. Didn't actually tear up the asphalt. Didn't screw anything up. There's your pennies, obviously. You kept the pennies. See what happens real quick. Let me tie this up and we'll finish this up. We actually, what, we build a welding table in like 31 minutes or 41 minutes? Kind of unusual. It seems to work. Well, I guess that's proof of concept. That was the theory, guys. That was the theory. I can move it around with my tractor. The problem when I picked it up was it was way out in front of the bucket. I can actually grab a hold of this thing, move it around wherever I want. Do a little cleanup work, obviously. This was in a printing factory, or Tucson newspapers, sorry. All this came from Tucson newspapers. I took this big press out. All this stuff was scrap. So what do I have in it right now? What is my entire cost in this job right now? I don't know. £1.5 a rod, $8. Well, wait a minute. I'm thinking so 1980. Yeah, probably 18 bucks, right? Whatever. I don't know. Pound of rod. I'm from the old days, man. I bought 50-pound boxes of rod back in the day for 75 bucks. So I'm kind of stupid like that. But there's your proof of concept. I can scoot it wherever I want, and I'll answer the question right now. Why 3 legs? Okay? Well, I'm a machinery mover. I am not a welder. I am not a fabricator. I'm a machinery mover. 3 points, as I learned in 8th grade, define a plane. I don't have a lot of flat ground on my property. I can throw this anywhere and make it flat. 3 points define a plane. You want to move a machine with $4? You know what? It don't work. You move it with $3. That's how it works. That's why I did it with 3 legs. And again, I can probably land the Kubota on the table and not break it. The Kubota moves the table around. I can hide it out in the yard. I can bring it up here when I want to fab something because I got another project I'm working on the old Ford out there. I needed this table because I'm working on another one for the Ford. I've got another project. I'll work you guys through that. I'm gonna do something with the Ford. I needed this table to do that. Anyway, guys, I'm actually pretty happy. Like I said, I'll tune that up. And this right here, I might have made a boo-boo on. That, when I caught that, I don't know if you can actually see it. I can see it with my eye. If I had my straight edge right now, this is about probably, let's say that's about 3/16 high right there. That was the one mistake I made on this, because I'm building, again, in my driveway. I don't have a flat table to build on, so this was actually sitting in a puddle. Oh, it's 1/4 inch. It won't. Yeah, it will. It'll bend all day long when you put 60 pounds on it. And that I cannot solve. So this will not be the layout area. I'm going to work on some of my, work on some of the things I'm going to build here. I'm going to put some posts in here where I can bend tubing. Put a couple of things in here. I'll make like a, what I call a poor man's brake, where when you need to bend some metal or whatever, have a poor man's brake. Put a vise over in one corner, put a grinder on it. Well, no, it's going to be outside. Well, anyway, the vise can stay outside. The vise has been outside forever. Who cares? But anyway, there it is. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. We built a welding table. What, 38 minutes? Happy Thursday, guys. Keep the faith out there. Don't hit, don't steal. We'll see you next time.